Well, who knows? Maybe one day we'll get there. Hello everyone, I'm High Treason. And as usual, if you just want the game, use the bookmarks to get there. We're going to continue with Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure, but it has been quite the shit show to get here. Well, first, the hardware we're using. We have seen this before. It's the Chipson Technology Super 386. So far as I know, still the only one on YouTube. Has the ADDA AVer 2000 video broadcast card in it. Capture card's currently out of socket, still in the machine. I just don't have the monitor plugged into there because, well, it has a bad RAM chip, and so I don't need artifacts all over the game. 33 MHz Super 386 chip, as we know, 16 megs of RAM. Pro Audio Studio 16 sound card. The rest probably doesn't really matter for this game. Let's make sure the volume's right on this. Do it turning that down a touch. I think it's probably going to be a bit loud otherwise. We could probably just turn the FM up. But yeah, what a shit show we've had to get here. This game, the big 386, that's not working. It's still throwing the bogus parity errors. It looks like parity errors to the machine. It basically is. But it's not caused by the RAM chips. As you can imagine, it was really fun pulling all 72 of those out to test them. It's by logic on the motherboard. That's not working. That needs a lot of work, as we said. So I tried continuing the game on my 286, the 16 MHz one. It becomes impassable. It has problems that we will see on this. And obviously I missed the live stream on Thursday. I just couldn't do it just right from the word go. I woke up hours early. I had so much shit to do. I was so exhausted. I tried resting when I had the chance, but things kept getting me up. I had to keep going and dealing with shit. And I can't just sleep on command, and it just, yeah, I couldn't do it. I wrote the wrong date in that post I made, and I'm sure I made some grammatical error because I was just that knackered. I just couldn't do it. I tried everything to get there, so that's going to have to be for next week. But we should continue with Cosmo. We should continue, and anything else we'll just talk about as we go along. But I've been unusually lenient here because this game became impassable. And it didn't want to work. And it doesn't like 5th generation machines, as it turns out. It will black screen on them. Specifically this chapter. But it will run eventually, you just have to wait a few minutes. It's a bit weird. Terminal velocity does something like that sometimes. But with that, I think it's the DOS extender causing it. Still, we'll have a look at what the story says for this episode. There's that Forbidden Planet subtitle. That was on the first game. It's like they sort of just didn't really go with that. Ah, they didn't update these screens? What the fuck? Yeah, they didn't update that for this, so we don't know the rest of the story. I guess that's told through the game. Title screen looks pretty cool. I'll give them that. It's a neat looking title screen. So we should continue. Because I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed chapter 1 of this game. Oh, hang on, I didn't set my gamepad. Can do this in-game though. You go to Game Redefine, Joystick, upper left and A button. I'm on a different gamepad this time. I'm on the Certec P120. Never used. The same box. It came as some gamer-like pack thing with the joypad, joystick, and the steering wheel. So that other R100 I was using comes from there. Button thing's still backwards in this version of the game. This chapter of it. And we get to see this again. This was where we finished episode 1. I quite like that, like the jog your memory thing. It would have been nice if they'd centered the backdrop, because it's aesthetically pleasing. It would have been more so if it had been centered. Yeah, it's not a bad gamepad, this. The prongs are really long on it. The recesses for your fingers are a bit off, but my hands are huge, so go figure. There are people in the world who have larger hands than me. I've met several of them, but there aren't too many. Yeah, the ghosts come out of eggs, apparently. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they're not ghosts. I wondered if there were, like, help screens in the game that I haven't seen, but I don't think there is. They were probably in the manual. I don't have the manual for this. Ah, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Cosmo. So yeah, I guess the last thing we did here was like Hexen, wasn't it? It feels like it was ages ago. It feels like it was a really long time ago. It wasn't, but it feels like it was. You know, it's just over a week ago to me. It's currently Friday, the 11th of July, 2025, for anyone who's watching this in the distant future. Yeah, we're about halfway through the day, I think, now. I am, anyway, for me, in my hours of work. I like the tonal shift here. I love the music in here, though. It sounds like my 3D music, almost. Well, that wasn't really nice, was it? It just appeared out of thin air. I never noticed that before. I wanna be a prefab superstar. I don't really need the health, but I'll take it. Oh, cool, we got hot dogs in here. So what was the problem with this game? Well, for some reason, like you saw we had the issues with the controls towards the end of episode 1, and I figured that was my gamepad. What the fuck, it can go through walls, the bastard. And some of it may have been. Turns out it was a rebadged QS217, I think, that gamepad I was using. Get out of that. If we mess about, we can get the blood to wrap around the screen. Like, you can get it to... Like, if you get it just the right moment, it will teleport to about halfway down. So that explains the smirk coming out of things in the techno level. So it was, as I suspected, probably not intended, but it looked cool. But yeah, the controls, they don't always work, it turns out. The game starts dropping them, especially if there's a lot of load on the machine. But the weird thing is, the 286 is faster than that 386 we were playing on, and the problem's worse on that. The game actually becomes completely impassable. I'll shove a little clip of it in here, because I'm not really moving, I'm just jumping on the red guy. And that was with me just pressing right. And switching to the keyboard won't help, and we'll still see it a little bit on this, but... The game's obviously sensitive to something in the system. And I really don't know what. I don't know why. It's quite the oversight. And yeah, like I said, there's the same thing on the keyboard, so... I tried on the Pentium 66, it was nearly as bad on that, and in fact the problem happened earlier on that, it happened sooner. We had to go about 6 levels in on the 286 before it became very pronounced. It happened 2 levels in on a 66 MHz Pentium. Oh great, it's these bloody panty sniffer fuckers. So, I don't know, I can't explain that. And I got quite angry. I said I wasn't going to bother playing the game. But I was like, well, it does warn you against playing it on an underpowered machine. It says you're going to have problems if you do that. I knew there was a pit down there, but I don't know where it is. This chapter does this quite a lot. I'll meet you back there, I guess. So where was I? There was something about the, what were the odds that I'd hit that? Ow! The 286 maybe is underpowered for this game, you know, it shouldn't be, but it could be, it's not infeasible. You know, it's from the 80s, that machine, 1988, and it's a bit of an unusual, like, clock speed. Not super weird, but certainly not one that you see a lot. It reminds me of the bobbers from Keen. Oh shit, you can make it over here, can't you? No, apparently not. Hope we don't need too many of them. So maybe, you know, that's just a bit too slow somewhere, and my Pentium wouldn't have been out yet, so they couldn't possibly have tested this game on a 66 MHz Pentium. It's just not possible. This machine, this is contemporary. It's about 11% faster than the equivalent Intel. Holy shit, Billy Bob, we got us a hoedown. I love the music in here, it's awesome. Bobby Prince said he liked the music in here, and I can see why. Cosmo actually casts a shadow, you know that cyan and brown star towards the left? Not as he goes past it, but when he's quite a distance to the right of it. It's just my screen. You know, I've thought there's been noise in this monitor circuitry for quite a while now, and it turns out there is. When you think what you're asking of it, given the age of it, it gets a pass. But yeah, look, the horizontality is... the verticality has gone for horizontality. I will just employ illiteracy, because everyone else on the internet does. Can't beat and join them. Words are only words because we agree that they're words, right? Let's just let the standard of language slip until it's all completely incomprehensible. Why not? Whatever would it be useful to be able to understand one another? Is there a music? The music in here reminds you of anything? Reminds me of something. Hold on, especially this. Maybe this one's doing with Banjo-Kazooie instruments. Load them into my Akai sampler and give it a go. I might actually do it. Sounds like Banjo-Kazooie music. Bobby, I feel like, was a composer who worked well under pressure. Grant Karkup, I don't think he was. I don't think he worked well to a deadline. Banjo-Tooie's music, massive downgrade from Banjo-Kazooie. It's not going to be an overly popular opinion, but that's because it's not an opinion and it's just factual. The music in Banjo-Tooie is objectively worse. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it, you can totally enjoy music that isn't great. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it just isn't as good. It seems lazy a lot of it. Actually, that just stands for that whole game, really. But yeah, certainly the hardware, you know, I'd expect game devs who are fairly well established to probably be able to afford a 38060X by 1992. They probably would have had one. And so it seems likely the game might have been made on one, and so it should work, was my thinking. The game does have its flaws. I'm not going to ignore that. You know, as much as I do like this. This whole thing with these 45-degree slopes really is playing into the game's weakness. Because you can't see what's coming, the jumping is not really well suited to it. And we can look up and down, we at least have that at our disposal. There's a lot of times this game could do with a camera nudge like Manhattan Project had, where you could press the right control. Yeah, again, that's what I mean, the collision's wonky on slopes. It's not well suited to it. Yeah, having a camera nudge like that would have been quite an unusual feature in 1992. I mean, just being able to look up and down was still not something that many games had. Like, Sonic could do it. I know Sonic 1 could do this. I don't know if Mario had that yet. Mario got the left and right thing in Super Mario World. The L and R buttons. They made a weird farting noise when you press them. Look out for enemies from above. Thanks. Now shut up. As it will start bombing things and start... So you'll notice I'm actually making an effort to pick things up. And the bug that I noted gets worse if I don't pick things up. For some reason, when objects are off screen, the game seems to run better if they've been removed from the level. So, I honestly think there's a linked list somewhere that is taking a long time to pass and the game misses the control input somehow. Quite often somewhere... I'm not coming back here, let's just pick it up and get the points. Quite often the game starts dropping the odd jump button input around here, and as the problem gets worse, it will eventually start dropping the axes, the left and right and the up and down. They'll stop working, they'll become intermittent, and you'll probably see my input sort of jittering along and Cosmo looking up and down, and yeah, it's not the gamepad. It will do it with the keyboard as well. But it is beatable, this game. As long as you're on the right hardware, you can beat this. I have been to the end. So it's not the first take. I wish it was, but it's not. It it isn't, for the reasons I've explained. I'll stop going on about it in a minute, because I just want to enjoy this, but I figure you should know what you're getting into. It's kind of part of the point of this. It's not just that we play the game, it's that we speak about it, and the hardware it's on, and how it behaves. Because these are things you're probably just not going to see in some repackaged emulator-driven release that you can buy of it today, assuming that's even a thing. But it does reinforce why you should pirate everything. I really hate the slope mechanics in this, they're not very good. So I'll talk about Hexen now, because Hexen... I noticed nobody's been to tell me how you're supposed to beat that... Oh, it's starting to drop my inputs. There we go, it's starting to happen. But I noticed nobody's been and told me the solution for that yet. I don't think there is one. I've poked it about, I've found a room with another portal that could lead to that cave key. I don't know how to get into it. I don't really care. The game's badly designed. You do realise, if you sat through that whole thing, that we were like halfway through that game. That game has only 6 levels in it. And now do you realise why they padded the hell out of it? Really is interesting, isn't it, how Raven Software at some point started being revered. You know, you had the usual types turning up on message boards and Discord. Oh, weren't Raven Software good? Just not long before there was probably some re-release of all the shit they'd done. It's like, no, they were never that good. They sort of made a... fuck's sake, man. A somewhat competent Doom clone in the form of Heretic. You know, that really wasn't a bad game, and I will give it to Heretic, it was fun. And then immediately fucked it up. And never recovered, because they just made more trash. You know, they kind of proved their incompetence there. That was exceptionally lousy, like, you didn't even see the dodgy fucking Slavjank developers doing that. I just don't think so. I don't think shit like Liquidator did that. You know, I think that was at least like a full game. You know, it didn't feel like just playing the same level over and over. Walk backwards and forwards and press button until game decides you can leave. Maybe it did. Maybe we'll play that someday. What else did I know I had something. I know you'll probably hear an echoing of the PC speaker sound effects because of how this machine works. Because it's on a Pro Audio Studio 16, and because I've left the internal speaker connected, the sound effects are still coming out of the chassis speaker. Because that isn't... There's no output for that on the Pro Audio Studio. Like, there's not an output for an internal speaker on this sound card. I don't really need to be in there, so I'll just leave it. Figured I'll show you there's no penalty for falling out the bottom. It was actually on purpose I did that. It's the same bonus level, so we don't need to keep seeing it. I could have done with it because I need the health, but I'm not too worried because the beginning of this level doesn't really hurt you that bad. Unless you're an idiot, and then it will. Well, I'm out of luck then, aren't I? Let's be honest. Oh, it's these fucking spark bastards. Fucking frazzers. Yeah, you fucking fraz bastard. Get out the way. Maybe that's what that fraz bar is that people keep telling me about. I'm not having anything to do with whatever that is. It looks mad gay. Ah, there we go. I knew there was health somewhere. Get here, you are mine. They're almost like atomic healths. Cosmo runs on nuclear energy, a bit like somebody else. A Forbidden Planet subtitle, though, I do wonder, like, was there meant to be more Cosmo games and we just never got them? Oh, get out of there. I wonder if the barrels have gravity. We should... No, quick. I learned a thing. Ah, it didn't work. But you saw it for just a moment. We were riding the rocket. You can ride the rockets, and I think that's the only rocket in this whole chapter of the game. So we'll never get to do it again now. I think there are rockets in chapter 3. He looks nasty, and I can't even do anything about him. Swap. I mean, the rocket would only have come up here, it doesn't really matter. And navigating your way back is actually a complete pain in here. I would just sort of hang left. Is it a longer route? Yeah, probably, but at least we don't get killed, because it's a death pit down there. Oh, I don't want this bit. Don't follow the stars either, because those will definitely fuck you over. There. Problem solved. So now we're right back at the start. Really is the only way to do it in here, you know. Not a nice level to navigate, this one. A lot of them aren't in Chapter 2. They actually, a couple of times, it does delve into, quite honestly, atrocious level design. I hope that doesn't continue in Episode 3. There we go. The downward bounce springs, they really are quite an unusual thing. I don't see those in too many games. And that's our goal, is to get in there. We need to be in there. But of course it's not going to be that simple. Out of order, yeah, shut up. Did I drop bombs there? Apparently not. That would have been nice if we could. I would like to have blown those up, would have got loads of points. I don't want to worry about it because we get to go there in a moment. That's actually mandatory, we have to go there. It's not terrible design because it has shown us there, but it's not really done anything to suggest it's needed, just that we can go there. Because we want to be up there. And I don't really want to blow this guy up, which I'm probably just about to do by accident. If it gets blown up, I can't get up here, can I? There we go. Yeah, now you tell I played it before, but I knew where the platform was. Cosmo's movement is quite stiff compared to a lot of these sorts of games. Okay, you can stop pinging me now, I want to... Yeah, give it the points. And it's an object with a player check that is now unloaded, so that should help us. Should help us. Let's say it will. I need to get up there. I said not. Baby 90s fire pipes. Look at them. I saw a funny thing a while back in regards to the 90s fire pipes. This channel there, that's a piece of shit, that channel. It's one of those that is immune to the fuck off button for whatever reason, but that thumbnail, that made me laugh. I was like, oh no, they're coming back. But yeah, no, it'll be nothing as interesting. It's weird, it's one of those channels where it started appearing on the front page. It looked like it was probably informative shit that I wasn't interested in, but it looked like it was probably decent if you were interested in the sort of thing he was doing. And then it just sort of turned into that sort of crap. Got the tick mark, you know, probably bought by whoever. There's like 5 channels on this entire platform for the most part, isn't there? It's all just different faces and different names. It's all written by the same team, you know. There'll be like a few of them that are in competition. I don't know, in that case, he's maybe just mimicking it, but I don't want to see that crap. Don't step on worms. Yeah, don't. I'll show you. Look. Because they turn into a pile of toxic cyan sludge. Magenta, I mean. Doesn't even look remotely designed to... Oh, thanks, Puff. Thing is, I could have done with leaving him in, because the only health in this level is up there, and now I don't think I can get it. Let's get rid of him, because he's going to be an annoyance. Yeah, no, that's not going to be gettable. So I should... no. Oh no, it's gettable. There we go. No more health in this level, so use this up, because you can't get more. That's it. And the layout's horrible in here. Music's nice. That's really all I can say for this. The colours, I guess. Sort of its own worst enemy in some regards, this game. Just for how vibrant it is, it can be a bit difficult to figure out what's okay and what isn't. You can walk through them. And there's no point in us breaking barrels, because I know there is no more health in this map. Oh, fuck you! Yeah, those little jarks have made a return. Oh, jeez. You can go also very wrong so very quickly. Especially it likes to manufacture situations like that. And the whole way we've got them puffs on the wall, them bloody whatever things. Like, I should know, there's no point in breaking the barrels. But there is a thing that I'll see, and I know when I see that I need to sort of take long... here we go, this might be it. Let's try bombing some of it out. It's at least a little bit easier to pass by it now. Yeah, this isn't the bit I was thinking of. I can't remember this, but... There's somewhere where you have to kind of go down and around. It's a horrible layout. Okay, yeah. Oh, fuck off. Look at that. How is that far? I don't think it gives you bombs in here very much, if any, so... Really? So where are we going, then? There you go, get lost. You're a menace to society. At large, not just me. Nobody asked for you, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, now this level is where it starts dropping my inputs. Like crazy. That's why I'm picking a lot of things up. I think I probably don't need to be picking them up. Zeph doesn't care about points and shit. I might still change the channel name to Zeph Plays or something, by the way. Just rolls off the tongue a bit nicer. And just make the vanity link somewhat confusing. I'm surprised I'm even allowed one. Generally fuck this platform at this point, because I'm in... Even the ads don't work. You'd have forced me to watch ads and then they just buffer forever. It's like, holy crap, man, I can't watch the video until the ad's done, and what's that yellow bar even for? Because that gets to the end way before the ad finishes, and you're still making me sit and watch it. Whoever programmed that really didn't... It's not even program, it's scripting, isn't it? Whoever scripted that really doesn't know what they're fucking doing. Well, I could do a better job than that. Once again, you know, people are worse at something than me. And loads of money doing it, while I don't. You know, I don't think I'm out of line by remarking on that quite a lot around here, because I would wager the same applies to most people in my audience. We have established a long time ago. I'm very lucky because my audience aren't morons like most people's are. So, you know, I think that sentiment is probably going to be generally shared. Not necessarily about the same things. Level 7. Oh, is this the level I think it is? Now, there is one cool thing with this not being the fast take, is that I know where certain things are that took quite a while to find. Don't you think the music sounded like Biomenace at the start, though? Some people, I think, have ragged Bobby for that, but I wouldn't, because it's sort of what you... Oh no, it's these idiots. 4 foot tall and half as wide. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, you fair get away. I got no business with you. Oh, dearie me. Oh, we got shits for the bards as well. Shouldn't really be using all the bombs, though. Ah, fucking... You'd think they'd be easy to deal with, the shitboards, but they're not. Like, they're actually quite annoying. That swooping they do makes them surprisingly hard to hit. They usually move away just as you think they're about to appear. And as we established with this game, it's not like Sonic, where you'll just sort of bump anything that's under you. If you're not in the jumping animation from pressing the button, then you get damaged. It's quite a different way of doing it. I don't see that in very many games. I think even Mario, if you land on something, generally it's... Even if it comes up underneath you, the game handles it as if you jumped on it. But I might be wrong on that. I am mainly referring to the SNES games here. I don't have too much experience outside of that. I know about the NES games, obviously, which are just worse versions of the SNES games. I mean, go figure, they're older. There really is no reason to play those versus, like, All-Stars. there just isn't. Look at these guys, look. I know. I speak... It takes one to know one, alright. Or 1/8 of one to know one. Like, I just find that fucking hilarious, you know. Oh, Zeph's anti-Semite is like... I don't think you realise, like, my ancestry at all in making this claim. And if I really was, like, you know, that way inclined, do you think I would sit here and talk about build and the guy who wrote the engine all the time as if it was a good thing? I mean, probably not. It's maybe like I just judge people based on individual merits or something. Yikes, who are you? I'm Duke Nukem, green alien dude. Until you rescued me, I was stuck cold by an alien invasion force. Wow, can you help rescue my parents? Sorry kid, I've got to save the galaxy. Well, his priorities are straight at least. But I can give you something that will help you out. Thanks, Mr. Nukem, and good luck on your mission. Just look for me in my next exciting adventure, Duke Nukem 2. Bye. See ya, and have those spots checked. So even Duke knows that he looks kinda unwell. Aha! And you see, remember when we got the extra health bar in the previous chapter? Cheeseburgers! That's what does it. Doritos Ultimate Cheeseburger. Solves all your problems. I miss that flavour. That flavour was nice. Controls usually give out here. Yeah, they're starting to. But they're not too bad. We should be able to do this within a couple of attempts. Get out of there. The toothpaste's going to come back. I'm nervous here. Well, obviously not actually nervous, but I'm cautious. Because I know what the controls are going to do, that they're not entirely reliable, and so I am pussyfooting about a little bit. Because I don't want to be going back and doing this level over and over. I don't like this level. This level's pretty horrible. I'm probably not coming back here, I'll just pick that up. I don't know if there's anything good on top of these, but oh fucking hell, shit. I regret picking that up now. It's alright, I got another one. Oh, that was totally worth it. I got my bombs back and everything. But you gotta be careful, because this is gonna death drop you, and it's gonna keep doing it, and with the controls starting to wonk out this late in the game. It is behaving itself pretty well. Keep pressing right there, because it's trying to drop you in a death pit. And it's going to keep doing that to you from now on. It's going to indicate death pits as somewhere you want to be jumping into. Ah, fucking hell. No, my controls are fucking gone. I don't know if you can hear my button presses. So I've got to play that again now. I've even got to go and get Duke again. Duke. That's got to be the right way to say it. It's not Duke, it's Duke. Doom. Do you play Doom or do you play Duke? And everyone knows K comes before M in the alphabet, so it must be better. Oh damn, all I'm trying to do is exist. Leave me alone. Oh yeah, okay, so I defeat the enemy but I take damage anyway. That seems legitimate. I've got the jump. The level design really does take a dive in episode 2. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. I hope it doesn't continue into the 3rd episode of the game. Because it really is a bit rough. We only have 2 levels left to go. This level also is rough as fuck, because this is dependent on the controls that, by this point, are starting to go quite faulty. And I just don't know. You know, I'm surprised that it's as bad as it is. Come off it, you fucking lousy piece of fucking shit. That's it. I mean, it's what, 25%? as it's system dependent, I am willing, and this is why I was more lenient with this game, I am willing to sort of accept that the test pool for it was probably small, and that it just wasn't cool. It's a problem I have as a level designer and stuff is, you know, I can do whatever the fuck I want and try and get it tested, but because only 1 or 2 people test it, if anything's like specific to certain machines, I don't necessarily know about it. Like, well, I can't jump up there, so I might as well get some of the lucky stars, but I wanna be a prefab superstar. Sounds like something you'd hear in an Asian pop song. It's actually a punk rock song, masquerading as a new wave song, but I can totally imagine some Japanese crap song having, like, you know, in the Dodeka Hitoron Superstar! They always do it. Why do they do it? Why do you just put random English words in? How would it sound if I put random Japanese words in the middle of my songs? You know, would that make them cool? Could I sell loads of records? Now this bit's actually pretty neat, and this really shows what Cosmo is. Like, I feel I've played through this relatively quickly, but Cosmo's not really meant to be played that way. Cosmo's not a speed platformer, it's quite a slow platformer, and this is where you gotta stop and think about it and slow down just a little bit. So some of the issues will come if you try playing the game quickly and aggressively, you're probably gonna have problems. It's not really meant to be played like that. Well, that clearly isn't the intention. If you know your way around, you can do it, I suppose, but it's not really a high-speed platformer. You see, I had no time to react to that. And it's not like I could be looking up, because I'm on a slurp, that makes me fall. These guys are a problem, because we're dealing with the crappy controls. They actually worked fine there. But they're timed by when they came on screen, so you'll see now, because that bottom one went off screen, its timing's different. And so you can knock it so far out of whack that it becomes borderline impassable. This bit's awesome though. This reminds me of Rystar's penultimate stage. Obviously he does his swinging and headbutting because he's a fucking hard skinhead. No, I don't want the headphones actually. Well, I could do with some, but we'll just exit the map. Yeah, pretty neat. Like, the end of that level's cool. The rest of it is... probably wouldn't be bad if you weren't wrestling with the controls. I'm doing quite well with them, if I do say so myself. Insane, gnarly! It's wacky, it's fun, it's crazy! I wonder if I'm going to get into trouble for that. Oh well. What don't you get into trouble for now? Yeah, jeez. I remember back in the days when I used to actually get offers from, like, you know, the networks and stuff on this platform. And then as soon as, like, the other channels got signed on, you know, they sort of slowed down. They probably put in some pretty bad words about me. It suits me fine, I don't want anything to do with that shit. You think I'm gonna sign my bloody channel over to that? No, it's mine, I'm not giving it to you. You're not, like, just treating me as some brand that you have ownership over. That's not gonna happen. I work for myself. I don't need this. Okay, seriously, I do it. The payout would be terrible. I would actually lose money if I did this as a job. Which is why I just do it for fun. Which is great, because it means, you know, I never really feel obliged to do it. I try to adhere to a vague schedule and stuff, just because I don't think it's nice to be, like, you know, too far distant from the audience, you know. I like to be there, like, I have some sort of presence. Come in and, annoy you and whatever I do, I don't know. What do I do? I ask myself that sometimes. I feel like the vibe has been a bit weird with this one. Probably because it's about the 5th time I've played this in under a week. Oh no, it will actually be 1 week today since I did the fast recording. Oh man. But I will finish this game, unless it does become impassable somehow in the 3rd episode. I will finish it. I'll play it to the completion. We go up there, we've got a little cameo from our old arch nemesis. Yeah, I don't get in scraps with washing machines, not as yet, but those fire tubes I do. This tree actually has a top, and you can use the ghost to get up there. It has a health power-up on top of it, so it's not really worth it. But if you really want the points, you can go up there, and that's what's up there. I know this, so I figure I might as well tell you. And if we got a hint orb, you might have seen it right near the start of the map. It would have told us there's a secret area, and I think that contains our 2nd and final cheeseburger. I mean, it should order, because there's only 1 level left, which I don't know if I can beat. And look at this obelisk. What is this, Monster Bash? I feel this music suited the storm a lot better. I feel episode 1 definitely was the superior showcase of this game and what it was and what it can do. But one thing I will say is, yeah, that tree isn't topped. It's almost like this guy being added in was a bit of an afterthought. I don't think I've ever defeated one of these, and I kind of want to. But they do hurt. You do bounce ridiculously high off them. Oh, there we go. Do we get anything for that? I think he has a star. A superstar. I wanna be a tool, don't need no soul. Wanna make big money playing rock and roll. Here's your secret area. You found the secret area. Well done. Yeah, and in respect for that, I'm just gonna blow you up. I mean, this is the thing you gotta remember. Like, Cosmo is an invading alien force on this planet. There we go. Let's get out of this dump. Now entering level 10. It's the last level. I have gotten through this alarmingly fast. I don't need to save, because this game's, in that regard, is stable. It never crashes. I've never seen it crash. Not once. Well, other than on the big 386, but that's definitely the machine. That's not the game's fault. That PC really... Oh, video dropout. See, that might have happened to you a few times. And if it has, it really is dropping out this time. What the fuck? Come back. If it has, I haven't noticed, but it tends to happen with this broadcast card. The signals that come out of it are a little strange. Let's see if I can get that back. There we go. Oh, the joys of doing it on real hardware. Would you get this from any other channel? I know I'm not the only guy who does it on real hardware. I think I used to be, early on. But back in the early days of YouTube, I was like just trailblazing it. You know, there was nobody else like me. You know, again, it sort of shows, you can sort of pinpoint, like I said on the main channel, I think I even showed the graph of the I hit. Everything bounces up in this. You can win this level dead, by the way, which is every chance is what we're going to end up having to do. But yeah, there was nobody else doing it. Like, my quality in that was so far ahead of everybody else because I knew how to use capture cards and converters and understood how to actually do digital video processing. And frankly, nobody else did, aside from a few crappy, like, you know, early commercial experimental channels, as in it was commercial entities experimenting with having an online presence. And even then, they couldn't do it as well as me. It was fucking brilliant. But yeah, you're just gonna bump your head into things constantly in this level. And you'll run out of bombs, because it really doesn't give you very many of them. I'm going to do something that's a little bit risky here that I don't really want to do, but if we go down here, there we go, there should be somewhere, yeah, should be able to grab it. This isn't ideal, but I really wanted that health. I don't think we can realistically get it, but bombs don't wrap upwards like the slime pools from those worms do, so we can't drop a bomb on a platform that we're not already on top of. There's music from the first, well, technically the second level in the episode, and I do like it because it's sort of creepy and spooky, but it's got that little mischievous sort of vibe to it. It's a little bit silly, you know, there's a little bit of cartoonish mischief in there. See, like that 3D, I still like what that game did. I think more games should have done that. You know, House of the Dead, like Overkill and stuff, are about the only things I can think that are even remotely similar in the way they feel. When they have that whole B-movie thing going on. I don't even know that it was intentional with House of the Dead to begin with, or if they just leaned into what they realised they'd done. Because Nightmare 3D, it feels like a cheesy B-movie, and you don't feel like you've been scarred when you finish the game. You feel like you just got done with a Halloween party with, like, fancy dress. And I could totally see that actually being canonically correct within the world of the game. That, you know, Hugo and Penelope have gone to some party, you know, they've been invited to this Halloween costume party, and it's just a party game. Like, everyone's dressed up and they're just playing, oh no, we've kidnapped Penelope. You know, it's Hugo's turn to play. You know, I could totally see it, just been that. You know, like how Mario 3 people say that's just a stage play. It would make sense to me. Oh, get bent. We're not going to be winning this. There's no way we're getting through here without being killed at this stage. I'm going to find out just how good my movement skills are. It's alright, we should have won. Maybe. Have we got it? There we go. Young Cosmo leaps through a small hole in the cave ceiling and finally sees what he's searching for. The city where his parents are held captive, undoubtedly been readied for the big feast. Must be the Bloogs or something. This music's fucking awesome. I like this song. That's it, we'll skip past. I'll keep with the text and I'll just leave it at the end. Cosmo knows what he must do. Enter the city and save his parents before it's too late. Thank you for playing. So I am, yeah, the whole thing with the controls, they behaved quite well today, and the crappy level design in places, I'm going to let slide, because this game, there's too many good things, there's too much good in this for me to just ditch it. And we're more than halfway, you know, we've only got episode 3 to do, and that's it for Cosmo. And I am happy to just think it was an oversight in this case. You know, it just happens to be a system-sensitive game, and the test pool for it maybe wasn't that big. It was made quite quickly. So we'll see him in episode 3. Probably only a week away, if we can. Time permitting. I hope so, anyway. I'm quite happy to put my name to this. Oh, it dropped my keyboard! Oh, yeah. Same as in the menus as well. Yeah, Herber would have been at the bottom, and below that by default there's just a 0 score with no name, so the only name you're missing out of there is Herber, in case you ever wondered. Like when you... anyway, yeah. I don't know why that's important, it's not. But I figured I'd mention it. So there's Cosmo, or Forbidden Planet, Adventure 2 of 3. And, yeah, I feel it's weaker than the first episode. It doesn't use the game's mechanics anywhere near as well. The level layouts are generally worse, especially past the halfway point. And it has that problem with the controls, and it has that problem where it doesn't like Pentiums, but I can't really hold that against it. So I don't know. I'm happy to continue it. I'm happy to play episode 3. And hopefully it does what I hope it will do. And it will pick the quality back up. Because if you want to put shit things, you know, I was talking about Nightmare 3D, and that's another fine example. Where the worst levels in that are right in the middle of the second episode. And whether that was deliberate on the part of the guy who made it, Dave Gray, his name was, wasn't it? Or just pure luck, I don't know, but that's generally how you want to do it. You are going to have some game stuff that isn't as good as the rest of your game stuff, and so shoving it in the middle's not too bad. Because then you at least get the really good stuff at the start and the really good stuff at the end, and your weaker things just to fill out the middle. Or you could pull a Raven software like Hexen and just have absolutely no, and just try to make a long game out of it by having the player walk back and forth across multiple tiny maps to press buttons until it opens a fucking door. I mean, that's how most games work. This is the thing, if you strip a game back to its fundamental mechanics, it's not very interesting. It's just like board games. Roll the dice, move the piece. Computer games tend to be sort of the same, where it's move to location, press use button, so a thing happens so you can move to other locations who press use button. Like, they're really not that interesting or complicated, most of them. And there's an art form to masking that. That's the art of making a game, is being able to hide the fact that that's what you're doing and keep it interesting. And do it well. You know, this level was a prime example of something not being done well, in that it didn't have any player steering. Indication of where I should and shouldn't be isn't very good. It's not atrocious, but I feel like no effort was put into it in that level, and this game was quite good at doing it. Otherwise, so it stands out. It's jarring when it doesn't. In the case of Hexen, it does no attempt at player steering. It's just dreadful at that sort of thing. I'll give you a quick example of player steering, because maybe you don't know what I'm on about. I'm going to use Duke 3D. So think of Death Row. It's the first time we see laser trip mines, really, in that game. Certainly we can't avoid encountering them if we're playing it normally. And so we've seen them and we know what they do and how they work. And then we go to Toxic Dump. And it reminds us, just before we go in the crane room, hey look, there's these things, you remember how those work, and you don't want to get blown up, do you? Good point, thanks for reminding me, game. And then you go into the crane room, and, well, it's already told us the cranes can probably move us because they're picking up the barrels. Barrels used to be pushable in prototypes, by the way. So we can see them moving the barrels. Well, I wonder if I can go on the crane as... There's a bloody laser there. Maybe I should send the barrel first. And you know, that's player steering being done. It's not even a perfect example of it, but it's just reminded you what the trip lines are, how they work, and showing you the barrels. And so you've got all the things that you need to get through that room without taking any damage or anything. And you know where you need to be, you've seen where you need to be, because we set a locked door with lasers in front. We probably want to get there. That's probably up there where that second crane's going, but that's the one with the laser. And now I feel clever because I figured it out. And that's a really hard thing to do as a designer. You can't grab the player and yank them around, you'll just upset them. You have to just stand behind them and just gently sort of turn them a little bit, so they feel like they did it, and they thought it through, and they're, oh, I'm clever, I did it. And you probably had to dumb down your design a little bit to get that to work, which is a bit sad, but it's just the way it is. But I'm boring everybody, I'm talking about game design and shit. I guess I don't really need to. But then I don't think very many people who do these things really understand it. I think I'm quite unusual in having any grasp on this. So, I'm High Treason. Thanks for watching. I will see you around, hopefully on Thursday. Very much, hopefully on Sunday. And this might go up a bit early. You might actually get this either late tonight or Saturday. I will get it done as soon as I can, but I've got a lot of things to do.